Robert Plank, Done For You Podcasting. Do you listen to podcasts? Do you know what a podcast is? Do you have friends that listen to podcasts? Well, because we have so many choices these days, that is how people get a lot of their news. It's no longer like waiting for the evening time, for that one time that Tom Brokaw has something to say. You have so many choices with who you tune into. And sure, there's left-wing podcasts and right-wing podcasts, but what about your podcast? What about little old you? And what would that even be for you as a business owner? Well, it would be these interesting and amazing conversations with your friends, with the people in your network, and not necessarily like sticking just to what you and your business does, but like the wider scope. So let's say you're like a painter or a roofer. Well, then you would have a podcast about like home improvement and home beautification in general. And if you knew that landscaper in your town, or if you had your favorite like home alarm company person or solar panel person, then you would just be having these conversations. And why the heck would you do that? Well, a couple of reasons. You might have seen that some of these people that seem to be doing really well online, that have a following, what do they all have in common? Well, they all post consistently. They all post every day, if not multiple times per day. And how the heck do you always come up with something new to talk about as far as like real estate or a realtor or painting your house or home decorating? Well, you have these conversations, and then the quantity leads to the quality, because you end up chatting with someone on, say, like a Zoom side-by-side screen for 20 minutes. And then as a result of you having these conversations, there's moments that naturally work well for TikTok, for Instagram, for X, for LinkedIn. And so that's one thing, is that you get content, but then you say, okay, well, still, Mr. Robert Plank from Done For You Podcasting, how does that make me money? And here's how. A big part of what gets people to buy from you is the sales cycle. So sure, you have that top of mind, and when someone wants to know about their local plumber or whatever your business is, then they don't call you until it's an emergency, and then, oh yeah, I saw that person around on Facebook or on YouTube because I subscribed to them. So that's one part of the sales cycle, is that these people just kind of have, you're on their radar up until it's time for them to make a call to you. But you also use podcasting to so-called work on people. And what does that mean? Well, does that mean, well, you invite someone on your show and maybe at some point they'll buy from you, maybe at some point they'll become your client? Well, maybe. I've had that happen a few times, for sure not every time, but those people you have as a guest on your podcast, they become your referral sources, and you're deepening a relationship with them, because such a big part of this sales cycle thing and building the relationship is just kind of being in each other's orbits until the timing is right. So for me, if I want to make a sale about narrating an audiobook, if I want to make a sale about someone that needs their podcast run, which is what me and my team do, we do the back end, then you use podcasting to just like keep in touch and stay top of mind, not always for that person to buy from you, but for that person to recommend you. So just think about these amazing conversations that you could have had with your mentors, with your peers, with your vendors, with other people in your network, with other business owners who are kind of like adjacent to what it is that you do. And almost guaranteed, very few of your friends and business owner friends have appeared on a podcast. So now you automatically stand out as like someone that they were on your podcast with. And anytime you want to like so-called use their network of people to get more attention, you make a post about the podcast episode itself, about an interesting quote from the show, you post a short clip, a short reel from the show, and you tag that person. And why wouldn't that person like, comment, share, repost what you said about them on your show, because they were a part of it? So really think about how you can use podcasting. People think about podcasting as like a content channel, and podcasting started because they said, well, it's like a broadcast, right? Like a daily or weekly radio broadcast, but then people would listen to it on their iPods before there was smart speakers and streaming, and you could do it on your phone. So it's like a broadcast for your iPod. And anyone can do it, including you. But the drawback is that there's so much involved on the back end that if you try to run a podcast yourself, it's hard to get started. If you do get started, it's hard to be consistent. And if you are consistent, then it's one of the first things to fall by the wayside when that dreaded client work piles up, right? Well, why am I going to work for free? Or why am I going to spend time and go and record something for free when I have responsibilities? I have obligations to people that paid me. Next thing you know, it's been 2 weeks since you recorded that podcast. Next thing you know, it's been 4 weeks since you recorded that podcast. Now it's dead. Now it's been a year since you put out any new episodes, and you wonder why there was that little bit of lag time between when you stopped putting out podcast episodes and your social media engagement dropped. Your following stopped growing. You stopped getting lucky, so to speak, and you stopped getting people coming out of the woodwork to find you. And it's better to do things right and keep up the habit. And so as far as a podcast goes, you shouldn't try to do it all yourself in a number of ways, right? Don't do the production yourself, but also don't do the recording yourself, because it's not that much fun. Even like what I'm doing right here, right? I'm talking to a camera, right? I'm talking to nobody. I'm literally talking to the wall. That's okay for a while. But do you think that you can record 20 long videos like that? Do you think that by the time you get to episode 50 of your podcast or episode 100 of your podcast, will you start like repeating yourself, or will you find yourself running out of material? That's why if your podcast is more of a talk show format, it's a lot better for everyone involved, because you'll never run out of information, because you have a guest show up and you ask them questions, and then you kind of have them do most of the work, but then you're also kind of an interesting person that's leading the conversation, and you put in whatever promos or commercials or mentioning of websites as you want, but you're helping out other people, and then they're helping out you because they then promote their appearance on your show. So podcasting opens up so many doors, and podcasting is not just about listening anymore. It's no longer just about audio. As I said, the original term for podcasting was broadcast plus iPod, which was a music player, but now it means so much more. Now I highly recommend you record your podcast on video. There's no more excuse for video now, right? Post-pandemic, we all know Zoom. We all have those high-quality cameras. So you and that friend side by side on a Zoom video then gives you content for your YouTube channel. And then you me and my team pull the audio out of that YouTube, and that is what we put on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, on iHeartRadio, on wherever podcasts are available, which for us means Amazon Music, which gets it onto Audible, which means when someone talks to their Alexa speaker and asks to dial up your podcast, they can listen to it in just a few seconds by saying the name of your show. So that's the audio aspect. The video aspect, we put it on your YouTube channel, and then we can find the interesting like 59-second or so clips. And we've all seen these, right? You scroll Facebook, you scroll YouTube, you scroll LinkedIn, you scroll X, you scroll Instagram, take your pick. These are the short attention span clips where you have like your best tips, your best information, and the good old algorithm, they randomly show these short clips to who knows who, random people, and they wait and see, well, does someone just kind of keep on flipping through, and then do they stop on your video? Well, then maybe tomorrow, when they're flipping through all the videos, maybe they'll show your video again. And if the algorithm sees that they have watched your video 2 days in a row, then they'll just kind of show up more and more. And then this is how we get that magical effect when, if you're thinking about getting like a upgraded sprinkler system for your front lawn, and then you didn't tell anybody, you were just thinking about it, and next thing you know, you're seeing all these posts, you're seeing all these ads. Well, really, your mind plays tricks on you. And maybe you stopped a little bit on one of those videos talking about an upgraded sprinkler system. Next thing you know, that's what's in your feed. So what if this is how people found you? What if when you made a post and you had friends and you wanted to stay in someone's orbit, you used podcasting to be someone that can remain relevant, that remains top of mind, that remains active on all social media platforms. Me and my team want to do that for you at dfypodcast.com. Let's make it happen. Let's start your podcast, but do it the right way. Make it a talk show, make it on video, and make it something where you just show up, do the good part, have fun. Me and my team do the back end for you. Robert Plank, Done For You Podcasting.